Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marlou and this is Main Books, and today I'm going to do my April wrap-up. I read 14 books, so I'm going to try and keep it short and simple so this video doesn't last forever. So it was a good reading month. I read a lot. The first book that I read was Sirens and Muses by Antonia Angres. I love this cover. It's gorgeous. This story is told from the point of view of 4 people. So the first 3 are college students in this art college. So you have Louise and you have, wow, I don't know her name anymore. It was something like Catherine, but maybe not Catherine. And they're roommates, and they were roommates. And you have this guy, and he's got like Preston or something. I'm not gonna do names because I'm gonna mess it up. And then you also have this guy who is sort of a teacher there, but he's also just an artist. And yeah, it's about everyone's story going through their lives and the things that come with it. And it's a lot about art and about elitism and people's opinions and stuff. And yeah, I thought it was really fun. I liked the gay vibes in it as well. I gave it 3.5 stars. I like me a bit of an academic setting. It was fun. The next book I read was Orbital by Samantha Harvey. I gave it 2 stars. This book is about astronauts in space, but they're circling the Earth, and you read from every single one of them. But it's a short book, but it's a bit boring. Like, I read it all in one day, but it was like, oh, like, I have not heard many good things about it because, you have people who love it, because it's like, won a prize and stuff, and then people read it because they heard that, and then the people don't like it. It's just every chapter is just them talking about, here's this country we're seeing, here's how the Earth looks, and it's just like, yeah, I got that in the first page. Thank you. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad book, but like, I didn't feel anything for the character. I don't know. I got claustrophobic. This is my number 1 anti-bucket list. Going to space, trapped in a, no. Then I read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and this is about a woman, and she runs into this small town guy, and he's younger than her, and she kind of likes him because her ex is a bad guy, and everyone wants them to get back together, but she doesn't want that, and she starts dating this guy, and they're just kind of like trying to see like how that's possible, because she's like, I cannot leave my world behind for you, and I don't want to. So yeah, I give it 3.5 stars. It's fun, it's cute. But like with romances, and that is like the problem is like, I don't want to leave my world where I'm not happy in that world. I don't want to leave my unhappy place for you. And it's just like, it's a romance, so I already know you are going to leave it, so you might as well just do it, right? Yeah. Then I read A Very Nice Girl by Imogen Crimp. This is a book about a girl, and she's like a singer. She can sing opera and stuff, and she sings in this hotel bar, and she meets this guy, and she becomes like pretty like into him, but it feels kind of like it's not like the greatest romance of all time. And she is going to school for the singing, and she needs to do auditions, and it's all really stressful and stuff, and he's not really that supportive. Like, it's kind of hard. So it is about her just trying to manage between pursuing her goals and pursuing her need of being with him, I guess. This has a pretty low rating on Goodreads, which I don't get. It's not bad at all. I gave it 3.25 stars, but I was really enjoying it while reading it, but it didn't really stick with me all that much. But I thought it was a good portrayal of even if you like this main character find something you love and you want to live for, it can betray you. Your mind, your unhappiness can betray yourself. Like, you can have the chance of doing what you love, but if your mind is like, I can do it, you can do it. Like, I thought it was a good portrayal of that, and also like the role of someone close to you, like not supporting that, not helping you out, not like listening to you when you tell like, oh, I need to sleep early, I can't drink or whatever, and they're like, yes you can. Like, the importance of being supported by someone you love, and the importance of just having your passion is not enough. If your body betrays you, you're done for. So I thought that was a really interesting topic, because I never see that much, but it's a very real thing, unfortunately. Then I listened to the audiobook of Vera Wang's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jesse Sutanto. I really enjoyed the first book. I thought it was fun and just, cozy mystery. This time I listened to the audiobook, and I love that, because what this author does is, the main character is Chinese. So in the writing, there's a lot of like, it's written in that way of someone who talks English, but like with an accent or with like stop words. And listening to the audiobook, having someone narrate that, it was so much more like endearing and funny than if you read it yourself, because you're kind of cringing out at hearing your own voice trying to do an accent you can't do. So I thought that was really nice, and again, it's found family. It's just a good time. So I gave it 3.75. I enjoyed the series. Then I read First I Wins by Ashley Elston. This is a book about a woman who's kind of like is she a con woman? She's kind of like hired to get close to someone to find out a secret or steal something or stuff like that. So that's our main character, and something happens and she needs to like whatever. But also the guy she's supposed to be fake dating, she also kind of likes him. So it's kind of like a weird war of romance and thriller and mystery. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I love with a thriller, when I'm reading it, I really want to be like on the edge of my seat, and I didn't have that with this book. It felt a bit, I don't know, I just didn't feel, especially at the first part, like the stakes, like what were the stakes. It felt very like, it doesn't really matter what happens to this character. Maybe that's just because you don't really feel for the character, you don't really know her. I don't know. At the end it was fun, the plot twist and stuff. So I would recommend this if you just want a thriller, but it didn't have like deeper dimensions to me, in my opinion. Then I listened to The Women by Kristen Hanna. I don't like historical fiction. I don't like books about war, but I wanted to give it a shot, and I thought she did a really good job at keeping me wanting to keep reading. The first part is about her going to Vietnam to be a nurse, army nurse, and I thought it was really like captivating how she wrote that, and just you felt like you were there, and I thought it was really good. And it was my favorite part. When she was no longer in the war, I was like, that was not my favorite. Like, the first part is the best part. There's also romance in here. I think she really fucked up with the romance. She really fucked up with, like, I've heard a lot of people cry at her books, and now I understand why. She's like read a book about how to make people cry with your books and then do that over and over again. And I'm like, I'm not falling for that. I'm just rolling my eyes at that. So I thought if she had nailed the romance, this could have been a better book, but it was too much. Like, okay, you cry at the end of this book and not roll your eyes. So I gave it a 3.25 because I do really, I'm glad that I read it, that I got through a war book without, falling asleep. I think she did a great job on that. She needs to stop with the plots she does around romance. Like, girl, what are you doing? How does she get away with it? How does she win prizes? How does she get such a high rating for writing cheap ploys? I don't get it. Anyways, the next book is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. I also listened to this as an audiobook. I gave it 3.25 stars. I thought it was really fun to, you know, hear about her starting as a ballet dancer, being a chorus girl, being an actor, you know, that whole timeline, going through her career throughout the years, and also because it's of course a very different time when she was growing up. And I really loved how she has such a strong voice. Like, she would always just tell people off, people above her, people who have like power over her. She would just tell them, no, I'm not doing that. And I just thought, this is one hell of a woman. Like, that is really brave to be able to do that in settings like these, like as a dancer, as an actor. Like, that's really hard to do. So I thought that was really fun and enjoyable to read about. It was not a story about, oh, look how sad I am, look how much trouble I went through. Like, I think that's great. Like, a memoir doesn't always have to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so sad. So yeah, I mean, some of these books, just like the other one, I just read because they won the Goodreads awards, and I just wanted to read those books, not because I necessarily wanted to read them, but this was a nice surprise, not too long, fun. I mean, it does make you think it's gonna be about Gilmore Girls a lot, but it's not really. Maybe like a few chapters at the end, but not a lot. But it was fun. I like it. Then I read Old Enough by Haley Jacobson. This book is about a girl in school. I don't know what she's studying. I don't even know. And she's in this class about, I'm assuming it's about gender, because everyone in this book is obsessed with their gender and their sexuality. And for me, that's like, this book is like marketed as like bisexual chaos, and I love that. What I don't love is people who make their sexuality and their gender their whole personality. Like, it's a part of you, sure, but you don't need to put it in every sentence. Like, you don't need to, like, they would say a normal sentence, and they would say like, that's the straightest thing you've ever said. And like, with everything. And I hate that, because I feel like this is a topic you cannot say you find annoying, because people are going to say that you're like a hater. I of course love, you know, diversity in books, and I think that's great. I feel like you could write like non-binary characters and learn something about them that has nothing to do with that, or like little to nothing. Like, I don't need this. It's called Old Enough, but I felt too old for this. I felt like this is how people see my generation, and I'm not fucking with it. 2.5 stars. Then I listened to The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I gave her 3.25 stars. This was a really one, like, hard time getting into it. Like, I read The 7 Year Slip. I was like, wow, I'm almost never really impressed with a romance. And then I read a novel Lost Story, and that was just like, you published that? So, you know, I was thinking like, this book is probably gonna fall in between that, and it is. Like, it's about this girl and her family has a funeral home, and she meets this guy, and then he's a ghost, because she sees ghosts. Maybe I should have started with that. She sees ghosts. They're starting to feel things, but she's like, oh, he's a ghost. You know. I don't know. I really felt like she's good at coming up with some supernatural element that is easy enough to just get into if you're not into that. But I don't think she's always really good at convincing us that people are super like romantic, or I don't know. I didn't love it. 3.25 stars. It was an okay time. Then I read The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This has won the thriller award for Goodreads, and I was hesitant about reading it because I saw such good ratings, but it is about a camp you know, with children, and they're going missing in the woods. Like, I feel like it's not something I love. But then again, I was thinking I do love the whole like summer slasher aesthetic, the 80s summer slasher aesthetic. And I was like, maybe I am into that, but also I'm not. I don't know. So this is quite a big book. So one of the girls goes missing, and that girl's brother also got missing 14 years ago. So yeah, and their parents are the owners of the camp, so it's kind of like, what's going on? And there's just a lot of characters you follow, a lot of timelines you follow. It's done really well. You always know, I'm reading from this person in this timeline, you know who they're related to, what is happening. It's just done really well. And yeah, it surprised me, and it was really enjoyable, and it was long, but it was fun. I gave 4 stars. And then I read I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline, got her name. Yeah, this is quite a short story about a girl, and she's trapped in a cage with 39 other women. I'm sorry for the background noises. Trying to film on a Saturday, it's gonna be the death of me. I had to stop talking 45 times. Anyways, all these women are trapped in a cage, and the youngest one is our main character, and you follow her. And I don't know what I can say about the book. It's better to go in blind. I'm not saying you should go in. Like, I have had this book like on my radar for a very long time, and I always was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. And then I heard some people love it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should try it. But I don't know. I wanted this book to go somewhere, but did it? I know. I think I'm giving it 3 stars. I don't know. I just didn't really see the appeal. It was just depressing, and I wanted answers. That's it. Like, if you're gonna tell me there's this world where women are caged without being told why, I want to know why. Is that too much to ask? Because I feel like if you write a story and you're just making a weird situation, and then you can call it good because it's not, like, you cannot say the explanation is bad because there's no explanation. But the lack of an explanation makes it kind of bad for me. Because I want to know why they were caged in the first place. Like, I want to know what, you know, that is the appeal to me. Like, they're in a weird situation. I want to know how that came to. And you're not telling me, so why am I reading this book? Is 3 stars too high? Yeah, maybe I should do 2.5. I didn't like it. No. Okay. Then I read Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. I read the first book in this series, and this is the 3rd. But yeah, cute queer romance, sort of in a theater setting. I don't know. I was talking about how I don't love smut. I do enjoy what she writes because it's gay, but it's also done in a nice way, I guess. I don't know. So you have the main character, and she has an anxiety disorder, so she's really nervous to start dating, and she just wants to learn how to have like sex without complications. And this other girl she doesn't date, so she doesn't do romance, and they meet up and then they start to fake date, and it's just really fun. I do have a hard time whenever they're 2 female characters. I mean, I had in this book, not in every book, but sometimes I get confused about the backstories and, you know, some of the traits they have, and I switch them out with each other in my head because they're both women. I don't know. I always get a little bit confused, like, oh, that was the one with the family, that was the one with the this and the that. But yeah, what I didn't like is this book starts at some point talking about the 3rd act breakup, and I was like, wait, why are you talking about that? You just already had that. And then it happened again. That was unnecessary. Like, I feel like if you're fake dating, I don't know, it annoyed me a little bit. If I feel like there was a 3rd act breakup and it wasn't the 3rd act breakup, girl, I can barely accept 1, not 2. 3.5 stars, because it was just very enjoyable to read. And then the last book I read this month is Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Susan. This is a ride. I love that I read an old book. Like, I think that's great. I've been listening to Valley of the Dolls by Marina so much because every time I read this title, I have that song in my head. I felt like I needed to have read this in my life, you know, to understand the culture. So this is about our three main characters, but the first part is mainly just about Anne, and Anne is kind of like, she's very pretty, so this millionaire wants to marry her, and she's like, no, and she just wants to work and stuff. And then you have Jennifer, and she's just known as the most perfect woman to exist. She's very beautiful, but she has no talent, so she is in like a musical or something, but not because she has talent, just because she's pretty. So there are problems that come with that. And then you have Neely, and Neely is very talented, so, and is just a really great friend, and is a great friend. So the first part of the book is fine enough, and then it gets pretty dark. Some dark shit happens. It's really hard to read. At the end of this book, I was so angry I could murder one of the characters. I'm not gonna say who, I don't want to spoil anything, but I've never gotten so angry at a character in my life. So yeah, so the dolls stand for pills because it's a lot about pill addiction, and it's very interesting, very like, yeah, it was sad, it was dark, but it was a good time. Like, this is written in 1966, but the language is not weird or slow or boring. It's just written like a normal book would be written. So I'm gonna rate it 3.75 because I think this is gonna really stick with me. It was a lot, but it was captivating. So I'm not gonna say you should just read it. It's pretty sad, but I'm very glad that I finally read it. Okay, that was everything. Those were all the 14 books I read this month. Please let me know if you've read any of them, if you liked them, if you didn't, if you have recommendations for me, and please don't forget to subscribe, like this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.